Alright, then everybody, this is Yara here, and I'm over here with Trey, who, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, you might want to. He has a YouTube channel. He started his own personal YouTube channel. So, Trey, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Trey. You might know me from Inspire TCG. That's the team. Just decided to make my own YouTube and hit up the boy Yada.
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing. Me and Trey, we're both like Floowandereeze players. We have the bird brain, So we're gonna be making a tier list of non-engine cards. What are the best non-engine cards to play in Floowandereeze? So, but yeah, before we start, yeah, don't forget to subscribe to his channel. So, yeah, yeah, I guess the first card that we're gonna start with would be like Book of Moon. So. What do you think about Book of Moon? Do you think it's a really good card in this deck?
I think it's like you have to play it right now just because everyone's playing Fate Veiler and Imperm.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, like Imperm on Robina, if that's the only card you have, kind of sucks, right? Because you have to pass turn.
yeah, they negate it. Let's you map.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, would you say this is like goated, like pretty good card, or would you say it's more like an A card?
It's definitely goaded. I mean, I
Goated,
couldn't tell
yeah.
you how many times it saved me, and it's just literally it's just a staple in the deck.
Yeah, and like if you don't need to dodge an Imperm or Veiler, you can like hit a Baron or something, right? Or like
Oh, yeah, it turns into a board breaker.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's like multi-purpose. So another card that a lot of people don't play, and a lot of people when this came to three, they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna play macro on Floowandereeze." But what do you think about Microcosmos?
I think it's significantly worse than Fissure just because it's a trap card.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I mean, it is still Shifter.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
yeah,
it's an okay card.
yeah. It's the thing is that like I don't know if it's. I would put it on my main deck and like on the side deck. You already have so many cards you want to run on the side deck that I don't know if this is good enough to like replace a lot of those cards, right? So
100%. You can't just automatically activate it, unlike Fissure.
yeah, yeah. So would you say this is like A or because it's not? I wouldn't put it in not good, but it's somewhere
I
in
put it in
between.
D. I put
Yeah,
it in
B.
D only because it's a trap.
Yeah. If it was a continuous spell, this card would be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Change of Heart? You see, like Change of Heart or like Mind Control and all those, like it takes over an interruption. Plus, it gives you like another like tribute fodder. But like, what do you think of this?
I'm be honest with you, it's definitely like an A tier card for this deck
Mm-hmm.
because that is what you miss out on the most is like extra bodies if you have to play through hand traps.
Yeah, yeah. Cause like, if your only card is like ostrich and you don't have like any other little bird, like you're not gonna be
It's pretty
tributing any.
bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But like if you have like a change of heart, then now you can actually like tribute someone for like an M pen or something. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty good. Board breaker, everything searchable off of thrust. Um, Denko Seka. What do you think of Denko Seka?
I mean, Lab's not around. The
Mm-hmm.
Rescue Ace is like you're gonna see maybe like three. I haven't
Yeah,
seen a Rescue Ace in months, which thank God.
yeah,
I think Deco Segas is just not good.
yeah.
Like
And
the only thing you're stopping is literally like the set of original.
yeah, or like an imperm maybe, but like I don't know if I want to put this just to stop imperm,
Oh yeah,
Um, and like I feel like a very popular card right now would be something like anti-spell fragrance and um I don't know, the fact that it takes one of your two normal summons, like you have to have map in order to be for this to be good, otherwise Denko Seka is not gonna be enough.
no, it's
But
not.
yeah. Another card that I see on almost everybody's like either side or main deck is
I think
evenly matched.
just because this is flu and it can play the going second cards that it actually needs to,
Yeah.
I think evenly is like amazing in this deck. I
Yeah.
surprisingly enough, I wish I could play it in voiceless voice, but I just
Yeah.
don't. You need your battle phase too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but this card is crazy because like usually like the Snake Eye end board ends up on like no Omni negates. Like some versions do, but some just end up on like an Appaloosa plus like an IP Masquerena and some back row. But um, yeah, this is really good. When it resolves and it like banishes like 4 or 5 cards, is it basically ends the game right there in the spot.
Yeah, most definitely. And I mean, your next card up is Lightning Storm, and
Yeah.
it does the same thing basically.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that you need to be siding Lightning Storm. I personally don't like Feather Duster just because it's a one of.
Okay.
And I've been testing out Lightning Storm Cosmic just to see. Now,
Yeah.
Harpies is obviously like an A card, only just because it's like the one of.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still not a bad card. You still want to play it. But having the ability to break boards and get rid of back row is it's really nice. Especially
Yeah.
for Flu.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. I feel like Lightning Storm, like a lot of people were complaining when this got semi-limited, but it's like this is like Harpy's Feather Duster plus Raigeki or Lightning Storm. You know, so it's pretty broken if you ask me. Um,
Yeah.
but also searchable off of Thrust. Yeah, very good. So now this is a card that is on almost every YouTuber's ban list predictions. Like non-flu players hate it, and
I'm not gonna lie. This card it should have been gone like 2 years ago.
yeah,
But I don't know why they left this card alone. I couldn't tell you how many games I have won just
yeah,
off this card.
yeah, yeah. Like the fact that it negates not only face up monsters but all your monsters your opponent has. Like so, it can negate Ash Blossom, Droll, like anything. Doesn't matter where they're at. You know.
Oh, and it's really nice if you don't even have to activate it.
Oh yeah, you just like people are like that scared that they don't even like give you a chance to activate it. You still have it face down.
Yeah, because they know like you go Pot of Prosperity or Pot of Duality like after you do your whole turn, and
Yeah,
you just pick it up, and they're just like, oh my god.
yeah. I went to a PS5 tournament like this past weekend, and I duality. I saw 2 Feather Storms and what was the other card? I think it was like Called By or something. That was like the last card, and then my opponent was just like, "Oh, you have it in hand, don't you?" Like he just saw me and he knew like his mood changed. You know, he's like, "Oh, you already have this in hand," but yeah, I mean, there I don't think we would argue this is an S card, right?
It's just your number one winning condition, other than
Yeah,
Shifter.
yeah, yeah. So let's see. For some reason, I could swear I added Shifter here, but for some reason, Shifter is not in here. But before the flu players throw stones at us, like where would we put Shifter?
I mean, probably right beside Featherstorm.
Yeah,
Most definitely. Shifter's a god card.
yeah. I would probably say like it's like ahead of Featherstorm, right? Because it's like going first or going second.
I mean, true. If you see, I mean, you can activate it whenever. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, Shifter would be somewhere in here. So all right, what about Cosmic Cyclone? What do you think?
I think Cosmic is like definitely like A right now.
Hmm.
I mean, some people would definitely say S, just because of like Fire King Island being on the field. You could always Cosmic it. But I'm gonna
Yeah,
be honest with you, there's more Pure than there is Fire King, just because Pure is definitely the better build.
yeah, yeah. So um,
And
mhm.
and what else are you hitting with Cosmic other than like Centurion and then some other random decks?
Or maybe like Summon Limit or
I mean,
Anti.
Summit Limit most
Hmm.
definitely, Anti Spell. I mean, it's definitely an A or an S.
Yeah,
I'm side decking three.
yeah. I will. Phew, I don't know. Like, would you main deck this on Flu though? That's the thing. You think this is more like a
No,
yeah, more like a side deck, right?
it's
Yeah,
definitely a side deck. The cards
yeah,
that are in the S tier right now are all cards that you could 100% main deck with Thrust.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah,
Um,
Herald of the Abyss. Pearly's not that popular right now.
I would say B. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
the only other thing you're going to be sending is what a Borreload Savage, a Baron,
yeah,
Appaloosa. You can't
yeah,
send Flamberge, so
yeah, yeah. I mean, back when a Rice Heart and Pearly were more. I mean, Orizer was legal and Pearly was more popular. This was good, but yeah, there's just too many interruptions. Like this, best case scenario, just trades one for one, and they still have a lot of interruptions.
Yeah, and you're giving up life, and it doesn't even help you in like the raid rapper matchup either.
Oh yeah, because they have like a bunch of them.
Yeah, they could just keep splatting them out.
Yeah, this is so the next card is one card that I haven't tested myself, but I've seen like
Me either.
a lot of lists like run it and running Fossil Dyna. Like
I would put it in A just
yeah,
because what the potential it has. If you're
yeah,
playing this card, most people I would think would play just the regular draw cards, and I wouldn't play Small World. Probably play
yeah,
what 2 or 3 of these just to make sure you draw it.
yeah, yeah,
And it's a really good card.
and you normal summon it, and not, the opponent can't like IP anymore. Can't do their Fire King stuff anymore. They can't like Prince. I mean, you were never getting Princes anyways, but they can't do like all those effects on hand.
The
So
main thing it stops is you're stopping Popular from hitting the field from hand, and then
oh
you're
yeah,
stopping Witch. You're stopping the
yeah,
Witch summon.
yeah, yeah. I like Fossil Dyna. This card, when I first saw it, I couldn't believe it. Like a couple of years ago, I was like, "Wait, you mean I can't special summon? Like what? This card is not fair." But
Well, it's
yeah,
definitely isn't fair.
no, this card Nadir Servant is one of those cards that's really good, but the fact that he has to send to grave kind of conflicts with like your D-Fisher and Shifter and stuff like that.
I
But
personally have
mhm,
never tested this version of the deck.
yeah,
The main reason is just like you said. This deck would rather have Shifter, and
yeah,
also Droll is technically and still in people's main decks and side
yeah,
decks. Don't know why Droll's kind of bad
yeah,
right now, in my opinion. And you activate Nadir Servant just to sink Garua, just to get a or send one to search or something like an Omen or something.
yeah,
Like you're not
yeah,
gonna be really happy whenever you get Drolled.
yeah. I mean, Flu already loses pretty bad to Droll, and just adding another card to that, not good. And
And
speaking,
then
mhm.
speaking of Droll, yeah.
Speaking of Droll, yeah, like I've seen some Flu players running Droll, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. What do you think?
I like Droll this format. I haven't. I played it for the one regional, and
Yeah,
then I went to 2 other regionals and didn't play it and didn't miss it.
yeah, yeah.
It's not.
Plus, like Flu likes to get advantage during the opponent's turn, and Drolling doesn't really help you.
I don't think it's. I don't think it's good. Like, but I'm obviously it's Droll, so I think you kind of have to put it in B, maybe the
Yeah,
top of B.
yeah,
You do
yeah,
need it for the rogue. If you're playing Flu, I would not main deck it. I'd probably still side deck it, just like the cards, like other hand traps that
yeah.
conflict with the deck, like the card you have at the end of Biru.
Okay, so here's the one time I think it would be good if you're playing against Kashtira, and then they're gonna side out Shifter post game one, just like side in Drolls instead. Take out Shifter, side in Drolls, and
Okay,
yeah,
I mean,
maybe the mirror.
oh,
Yeah,
and the mirror is it's just murdering it.
yeah. um, Dark Ruler. How do you feel about Dark Ruler?
Since this deck can play Dark Ruler and it cannot really play droplets. I mean,
Yeah,
it's definitely an A S tier.
yeah, yeah. No, is it like top of A or like an S?
I think it completes the same thing that Evenly does.
Yeah, it's you can search it off of thrust, not at once per turn, and it just helps you break boards that much. You can grab it off prosperity, and then just activate it.
Yeah, it's also a thrust target as well.
Yeah, yeah. Now this card, I played it on the PS5 tourney, and I didn't see it once. The only time I did see it once against a Dark World player, and they're all fiends, so I wasn't able to use it. But what do you think about Rivalry?
It's a one of. It's not searchable. You already play so many bricks in the deck. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
hmm
it's like playing a one of in your deck that you hope to draw, and
yeah. Like Macrocosmos, right? The same
so
thing.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean,
In theory, it's really good.
yeah, not searchable. Yeah, yeah, and I mean, it kind of sucks because like I remember I was playing against a Fire King player, and I was like, I can't really play against his board. I have rivalry, but I can't play against his board because he's just gonna stop me, and I'm gonna lose cards. So I'm just gonna set rivalry and hope he doesn't pop it. But he ended up popping it anyways with Kieran. So um, they have a lot of ways to clear back row. They have SP, they have IP Masquerena into like whatever Kieran. So yeah, Call by the Grave. What do you think of Call by the Grave?
For this deck, I mean, you gotta think you do have Shifter. Once you Shifter, Callbuzz just dead.
Yeah,
But it is definitely like an A tier. It's not B, and it's definitely not a not good card because it's
yeah. Stopping
if I would
Droll.
it definitely make Droll is just you don't want to
Yeah,
get Drolled, or you don't want to get Veilered on like
yeah,
a normal summon Rabina and be like, oh, I needed
yeah.
that. The search toucan.
I feel like it's a good side deck card. Like maybe if you
I
know if you.
cited it.
Mhm.
I cited it because nobody was really maining Droll, so like
Yeah,
I just cited it and cited it back in.
yeah, yeah. And like if you see it and they ask you or something and that's their only hand trap, you're gonna win. But it's a one for a reason. But
Definitely.
so
And
Thrust is one of those cards that it's a little bit over my budget, but I can see why that card is good.
you
And
might as well throw that thing up in S tier. This card
yeah,
literally says, "Oh, you're activating Flamberge to bring IP."
yeah,
Okay, let me search Dark Ruler real quick,
yeah.
or evenly. Just search evenly. Break the board.
Okay, but
Oh, it's
where in
probably right.
S?
It's probably right there.
Right here?
It literally gets you everything in the deck. Anything that you want in the deck, it basically can get you.
Terraforming, Pot of Prosperity, whatever.
I think that's the only reason to even still play terraforming.
Yeah, yeah,
And then you might as well grab talents. And
yeah. Put it.
how do you feel about talents inside of Flu?
It's because the thing about talents is that like you only really have two summons in Flu, right? Like you have like your regular normal summon, and then you have like the map normal summon, and like if they stop you and you need talents to play, like you kind of
It
just hoping
doesn't really do anything.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's more of a utility card for like going seconds, kind of like a change of heart in that some aspects that doesn't target. So
yeah,
I probably wouldn't put it in S. I definitely put it in A just because of how many hand traps and how many
yeah,
people have interruptions on the field going second, and it's going to help you break boards.
yeah, yeah. Book of Eclipse.
I mean, we're in a link format,
Yeah,
so and also it could just be ash blossomed, and
yeah,
then you necessarily don't want to book of eclipse your field when you have like a bunch of like someone goes
yeah,
Nibiru. I
yeah.
never doing this in Heroes. You only play Book of Eclipse because they go Nibiru. You just Book of Eclipse, so you don't get all your stuff gone.
Yeah,
And then if you do that in this deck, all your birds aren't going to go to the banish pile.
yeah, yeah. The fact that it can be Ash Blossom just kind of gives me a. I mean, yeah, probably at the somewhere over here maybe.
Yeah, that's perfectly
Um,
fine with me.
yeah. What do you think of Sphere mode?
You only have, see, you have maybe two to three decks that summon up to three. Voiceless
Yeah,
Voice, whenever they commit a Saravis, Skull Guardian, and low, you
yeah,
have the Savage Appaloosa, and then the Formula, or however, the IP, or whatever they have. So,
yeah,
I mean, I it was not bad. I'm going to tell you that.
yeah. It's really not bad, and the fact that you run Duality and Prosperity. I mean, you're gonna
Yeah.
see Sphere mode if you set it in.
Um,
Um,
is it situational? And if you're playing like a more of a going second version of Flu, it's definitely just a outright better card. But if
yeah,
you're not and you're just playing more hand traps, I wouldn't play it.
yeah, yeah. You're right.
But
Um,
I definitely think it's a good like A card though in your side
yeah,
deck.
yeah. I agree. I agree. Yeah, people don't expect it, but you can definitely do it. What do you think of Di-Fi, Diffuser?
You main deck two of them things, and
Yeah,
you don't even need shifter. You can activate it before you activate prosperity, so they can't draw you.
yeah,
It's definitely an A card.
yeah, yeah. It's
It
main
would,
deckable too. So
yeah, and it would be an S, but you can just get it cosmic.
yeah, like starting off with this, like going second, and your opponent has like I don't know, like IP or whatever. Like I mean, this forces an interruption, right? People don't want to get their stuff banished.
It
So
literally forces everything, especially if you're
yeah,
in the pure Snake Eyes build.
yeah,
It forces everything. Because in they Fire King, they would just go another way, but they can't even Princess. So actually, you're pretty straight either way.
yeah.
So they won't even be able to trigger their Garunics in the graveyard.
Yeah. So this is the Underworld is a card that I mean I understand why you would play it in Flu, right? Like let's say you're playing against an untargetable like Ray
You need
Raptor
it.
or something. But like I've never been able to summon four birds, so I don't know. Like have you ever been able to summon Underworld the Goddess?
There's only been one time I actually played against like Black Wings,
Yeah.
Fort Worth Regional, and I lost only because I couldn't out the unbeatable monster. If I had
Okay.
Underworld Goddess on my deck, whenever he passed turn and popped one, I could have just normaled and had four monsters and then just linked.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But it's so situational. It's probably, I mean, like I would put it in my deck.
Yeah. I mean, because you have so much room in your extra deck, so I mean, sure, I would say yeah. I guess for that, yeah, for that Blackwing card that's untargetable is good. So
And the Raid Raptor most definitely, because Raid Raptor's a problem.
okay, so people might think I'm trolling because I put Kaiju in here because sure, if you special summon something like you can't do any of your Floowandereeze cards that turn, but like we were just talking about that untargetable monsters. Like, would you ever consider siding in like Kaiju's just because of those untargetable monsters?
I personally wouldn't, just because
Yeah,
of I don't like dead cards in my deck.
yeah,
Like if you draw it late game, the only thing you could do is like normal summon it, but you'd have to
yeah,
tribute.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I'll probably say not good. Yeah, it's just not good.
Let's see,
Enemy controller.
I've played it a couple times, never drew it. In theory, it's a god card going second.
Yeah, cause
It's
he
literally Book of Moon on like crack, like it's insane.
yeah, cause he helps you dodge stuff. Plus, he takes your opponent's monster.
Just for flu's sake, it's AS. Like it's
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah. I'll probably put it like yeah at the bottom of S.
yeah, most definitely looks good to me.
Uh, I literally looked up the name of this card. Ultimate Slayer. There you go. I keep forgetting this card for some reason, but not a
That's
once per
funny.
turn, but it has to send to graveyard also. What do you think?
It's one of those A cards just because of
Yeah,
the graveyard thing. There's been plenty of times, like I know in the Cashier format,
yeah,
obviously I would play it just so you could out a lot of things.
yeah.
Because if you stop them from getting a Rise Heart, you're pretty much set.
I just don't know why Konami made it so you have to send it to graveyard. Like this card would be insane if it could go anywhere like banished or graveyard or anything.
It's cost us in the graveyard.
Yeah, I think he has to recognize what card got sent to graveyard, so then you're able to resolve the effect. So
Ooh,
like, you won't be able to tell a synchro got sent if you never sent one, you know.
ooh.
Yeah, but if you weren't playing like a shifter version, I feel like this card would be goated. But
Oh yeah, most definitely. If you're planning to go in second, I'd definitely play it.
Nibiru is like another card like Kaiju's where like sure it might stop you, but like sometimes you need like nobody expects Nibiru on Floowandereeze, right? Like have you ever played
No, it's
Nibiru?
a. I played it once. I side decked it. And I
Hmm.
played against Rika, and I actually Nubiri'd him game two, and then
Yeah.
game three I ended up normal summoning it just so I can get all my birds in the banish pile and start the chains back.
Nobody expects the Nibiru from the birds.
No, and you'll need it. Like if you're going into game two, going second, you're 100% side again three Nibiru.
Yeah.
If you don't draw it, guess what? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like it's a draw it or not draw it. You just have two. You just have three dead cards in your deck.
So just because it's super unexpected, people will never expect it. Like, where would you put this?
I'd definitely put it in A. You have to play this
Yeah.
format. Like it obviously it hurts Snake Eye and Fire King Snake Eyes unless they're playing
Yeah.
like the Savage, but you're just gonna nib on the Savage.
Yeah.
Like the only thing you're stopping in those matchups is cross out. Like cross out's your just worst enemy in these decks.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess Crow searchable. Um,
Uh,
what do you think?
how many do you play? I always played one or two. Never played three.
Yeah, yeah. I only play one only because I'm like, well, if I need it, I can just search it.
I mean,
Uh,
it's definitely an A card, but
yeah,
because you also like because you're not worried about Princess. Like
yeah,
you're not worried about Princess. That's
yeah,
really the main reason people play Crow is so they can get rid of the Princess and they stop the Garunics and they stop all the other stuff. I
yeah,
think Crow is still good just so you can hit the Garunics, the Arvada, the Flamberge,
yeah,
the
yeah,
original, the Wanted. I mean, there's so many things. Crow. It's so versatile.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. So, yeah, if you're thinking of bringing Flu to a regional, consider running these non-engine cards on your deck. Shifter, put it in there. I know I forgot to put it, but don't stone me just yet. But yeah, don't forget to check out Trey's channel. Link in the description. And for some reason, Kylie Jenner was here the whole freaking video. Like she's just
Hey,
watching us.
yeah, Kindle.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Kendall. Kendall. I don't know the Kardashians.
I don't know the Kardashians.
uh,
Most definitely.
all
Appreciate
right,
you, Yana.
man. You're welcome. All right then.